Smells like strawberry watermelon. And welcome back to another episode of From Corner to Corner, the Saturday Show. Sean, Neil, Darren, and guest host Mark Collier. Ladies coach.
It's coach.
Coach.
Yeah, coach.
Yeah.
Just coach.
Basketball coach for the Lady Wildcats of Bath County.
Lady Wildcats. You got to say it that way.
Wildcats.
Yeah.
There you go. This is Casey Kasem coming to you with the Wildcats.
Please, stop. Can we be serious? Can we be serious?
Sorry.
Listen,
I can't believe I'm not serious.
No, speaking of serious, I bought you all a gift.
You said that you did buy us a gift.
I bought you a gift. So I saw
Adam, West, hope you guys are watching so you can see this.
And I know you guys are both big racing fans. And I saw this and I knew exactly. First, look at this mug. Look at that. 1993 Hutch Strickland Jr. Johnson, McDonald's. It's like a Tervis before a Tervis. Like a Stanley before Stanley was around, right? So, McDonald's, 1993. But I saw this and I had to get it for you. So this right here, 2-time Indy 500 winner. Y'all ready for this? Gordon Johncock. He lives in Michigan. I've looked it up. He's 7 years old. He probably doesn't remember winning the 2 Indy 500s. Okay, it was a long time ago. 71 and 83.
Did you have to Google that?
Yes, very much so.
Because he wasn't born yet.
Right. I bought this at the Moorhead Peddlers Mall, where I saw Elvis, by the way. He has not left the building. But I had to buy it for you guys. I knew you'd appreciate it. Our studio needed Gordon Johncock. And it just gives me a reason to say that word. So, you're welcome. I paid $1 for it.
And you know, the guy that had it in his booth is like, I cannot believe I sold that stupid thing finally.
I mean, he's giving the peace sign. What's more American than IndyCar racing and the peace sign?
He probably bought that at a yard sale for $0.25.
I would hate to think what somebody paid for that brand new.
Right? That's a well-framed picture from the 1970s.
Well, I was going to say, the frame's worth more than $1. That's going to look good in our studio.
Oh, lordy.
So you're welcome. Listen, I am a man that gives gifts.
I mean, you found the Moco helmet.
I did at the Goodwill.
At the Goodwill.
Yep.
And so you like to find them deals, don't you?
Wheeling and dealing.
You found the helmet at a Goodwill.
Look, that's the Goodwill sticker.
Pay
$5.99.
$5.99.
You couldn't just go up to the high school and be like, man, give me an old one.
You probably could have. But, the funny thing about it is we had Coach Bradley Craycraft on a couple of weeks ago, and he's like, yeah, that's the helmets we played with in high school.
So, I mean, there's probably some blood, sweat, and tears in that thing. We might, some DNA.
We might be able to recreate a football player.
We don't know who that is.
Sheldon would be able to recreate someone.
Maybe Emmitt Smith. In other news, nobody's commented on my medal. You know, ask me about my medal?
I was going to ask you, what did you get second place in?
I didn't get second place in nothing. But my daughters are on the archery team at North Middletown Elementary.
Okay.
And it is their first year. They're a first-year archery team. And you've seen improvement. Like, when they first started, I was like, I don't know that we should be doing this. Like, but it's amazing because you can see them get better each and every week. So this past week they played in Moorhead which is why I was at the Peddlers Mall and I found Gordon Johncock. Okay, that's why. But so we shot at the Lakeview Academy.
Yes.
And they took second place. First time they've ever placed in a tournament. So I told my daughters that I'd wear the medal and give a shout out to Coach Tiffany Adams and the North Middletown Elementary archery team. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Congrats, girls.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so that's why I'm wearing it.
That's awesome.
But you didn't earn it.
I mean, I drove them there, so technically, yes.
You're part of the team.
I am.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm basically the bus. Not Jerome Bettis' bus. School bus.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny.
So, Sean, how's your week gone?
Paint train.
My week has been okay.
Coach, how about you?
Been better.
My week's been about as good as getting beat by Round County, who's green, and watching you drink your green water right in front of me.
Oh, that's not intentional.
I'm sure it wasn't. Just like the under 500, not playing any good teams comment was unintentional.
That was Sean. I didn't say that.
So, the daggers just keep coming.
I'm
Glad to be back, guys. Glad to be back.
I'm never going to live that down.
Glad to be back.
Right. What team is under 500? We want to watch you play them.
The crazy part about it was, it's like, I never really realized what I did until afterwards, and they were like, "You was just stabbing at him," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" It's like, you never bring up a coach's record.
It's
and
like,
I'm like,
when do y'all play that blind school? We want to come watch you play the blind school.
Glad you didn't fumble those games. Well, you said that. Yeah, don't fumble any of those games. I'll below 500. Got to win those. Dan, the only team above 500, Martin County, canceled on us without us knowing.
Jokers.
Yeah, that was pretty low. I was pretty upset about that. We tried to find a replacement game, just couldn't. But good thing they didn't come. They weren't below 500. You just never know what's going to happen.
Never know. Those games are
might screw up that record. Right?
They're a crapshoot. So before we dig into the season, the end of the season, Coach, we have I pointed out the basketball that we have up here that you brought in last time. Miss Barrett became the all-time leading scorer.
She did
in school history.
Ashton Barrett, all-time leading scorer, boys and girls basketball, 2,554 points. She hit it last Monday night in our district game against Round County. She needed 8 points going into the game, and she hit it during the first half. Just an incredible feat in itself.
Yeah.
Incredible feat. She has worked hard for every single one of those points. And when I mean work hard, I'm not talking about practice times, getting into the gym by yourself, because that's a given. She is just an independent hard worker. I'm talking about everybody's scouting report is on Ashton Barrett. They're zoned in, number 10.
Yeah.
We're going to make her work for what she gets.
Right.
And she earned every one of those points.
Right.
Super proud of that young lady.
Absolutely did.
Well, you're a soccer guy. You played soccer. So we know that the number 10 in soccer is an important, like, you don't put number 10s on anybody. You only put number 10 on the best player.
You don't.
So I don't know that transfers over to basketball, but in this story with her being number 10, that's
I see the correlation. I couldn't agree more.
So
myself.
that was a huge feat. Like I said, I'm gonna go on record and say I don't know that's gonna get broken, Coach. I mean, that's a lot of points.
That's gonna be hard. Now, granted, the boys' game and girls' game is different.
It is different.
The guy who previously had, I think that he was averaging like 25, 26 a game on the boys' side. But taking nothing away, you're a 7th grader starting varsity for a new coach who's coming in here with this crazy style of boom, boom, let's get after it.
Yeah.
And you're able to sustain that and get better every year till you're a senior. You stay that long with this one coach and you work that hard. Like I put on Twitter, I'm not sure you guys seen it, Ashton Barrett is the standard in Bath County basketball. So my thing is, who's next?
Right.
Yeah.
Records are made to be broken, right?
Yeah.
All time. I'm going to brag on myself. All time saves leader in Montgomery County goalkeeper history.
Okay.
Look it up. Look it up.
I don't have to look it up.
Hey, the thing is, defense probably wasn't the best that year, but the next year we were solid. Like Fort Knox solid. But that year, I had younger cats say, hey, I'm going to break your record. It's meant to be broken.
Right.
Go get it.
Go
get
break
it. Great.
We had a comment from Red Lee, said Mark, a.k.a. Candle Guy, was a baller.
Hey,
okay,
Red Lee. You know the rapper T.I.?
Yeah.
He had a song. I forgot the name of it. It's a while back, but what was it? MySpace.
Yes.
Back in MySpace, you could put your songs on there, and my song was some Candle Guy, simply because I am on fire, and that's what he's talking about. You're talking about 2000-ish, roughly. But Red, hey, great guy right there.
When Facebook went down today, we were like, well, does MySpace still work? Maybe we can stream on that tonight, because we didn't know.
Yes, maybe Tom can.
Since we're raw and unfiltered, election interference. But let's move on back to Bath County basketball. Okay,
right. So Ashton broke the school record. I think that it is Mark Collier Arena and Ashton Barrett Court.
Yeah.
We could probably find another name for the arena, but Ashton Barrett deserves our names in that banner one day.
And there's no doubt
she's going to get it. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Tell me what kind of career this is. 2,554 points, over 100,000 rebounds, over 400 steals and 400 assists.
That's
When the defense is every scouting report is keyed on you.
Yep. Yeah. And it's been that way for years. They've been keyed on it for years.
You'd be hard pressed to find anybody that has had that kind of success.
Right.
And Coach, we got to watch you play twice, right? We come to your season finale against Morgan County.
They were under 500, I think.
They were. Yeah.
Well,
and definitely they broke it down to like 10 at one point, and it wasn't like got to call timeout, got to get focused. It was like, don't fumble that game. They're under 500. They won't come back. That was the coaching strategy.
Right. It was like, girls, they're under 500. We can't lose this game.
Hey, timeout, girls. The guys up there that are Facebook Live, you can't lose this game. They'll never come back.
Because they lost to an under 500 team.
They looked me dead in the eye. I got you, coach. That's all I need to do.
That's why Ashton was our dog of the week last week. I mean, she was our 2-2 Sweet Treats dog of the week.
I don't know about Sean, but I heard him say that from
the cheap seats,
the press box up there.
And
we could hear him.
He walked by halftime and said, "We don't need a mic on you."
County coach, he's like, "I can't lose to you. Those guys won't come back."
Hey, I'm sorry you think that I picked the referees for this game at 6 o'clock, which you agreed to. Me and you want to get home early, but it's my fault that these referees came. Yeah. Like, really?
I mean, Herman Munster was a game changer in that game as that ref.
Oh, you listen, going back and listening to you guys, that made it even sweeter. It's just you all are just like, there's no CBS. We got to be, but you all just like call it like it is, and that's how a game should be called.
Well, so we're
we don't have the lobbyists.
I was gonna say, we're tinkering with the idea. Adam and Wes do a really good job, Adam and Sean do a really good job. Wes and I are on Monday Night Football. You got the Monday Night Football call, and then you have the Manning cast.
Please do.
Well, Wes and I are thinking. I call him the bread monkey. So you can call him the bread monkey too, Coach. So I call him the bread monkey, and I used to have a mullet. On our intro, it talks about Mullet Man. So we're gonna, instead of the Manning cast, we're gonna have the Monkey and Mullet cast, and we're gonna be just raw and unfiltered. We'll probably get cease and desist letters.
Is it trademark if you go M&M?
I don't know. Might be.
It's something to think about.
It is something to think about. I'm gonna think about that. I'm gonna look into that. And if it's not trademarked, I'm gonna trademark the heck out of it.
Absolutely.
Can't use the ampersand, but I bet you could use the M.
Probably.
M-N-M.
Right. So
something to think about.
So we've beat around the bush.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about that Round County game.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Obviously, when you had us in here previously, Ashton and Kaylee and myself, we had a lot of confidence.
Mm-hmm.
To this day, sitting right here, am I going to tell you I honestly 100% think we were the best team in that district. No doubt in my mind.
I would agree with that.
We beat everybody. We were playing good. We were in the right frame of mind. We came out that first half. We prepped for their tandem 2-3 defense for a week and a half, 2 weeks. Here's what you're going to see, girls. They're not going to press you because they pressed you and we broke it. And they're not going to do that. They're not going to play a lot of man because they can't guard us one-on-one. Now, they mixed it up. I'm not saying that. But you're going to see this. And I credit a lot to Coach Stokes in Round County, but his girls have been in that situation before.
Yep.
Ours haven't. I'm not for sure if we were ready for the moment. And that I had to eat that on the chin and take that on my shoulders. I try to build up with confidence. You're the best team. Let's do this. All while still being myself and coaching the way I coach, which I'll never apologize for the way I coach.
Right.
Because if I'm coaching you hard, that means there's something in you that you need to do.
Right.
If I'm coaching you hard when you're having a bad day, we'll hug it out after practice, but you're going to give me all you have in this practice, in this moment.
Right.
And I'll never apologize for the way I coach. I don't call kids out their name. I don't cuss them. But you're going to know when you're not doing the right things. And I think you guys seen the accountability aspect of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I just wanted to preface that with there will be no apologies for the way that I coach these young ladies. And I don't think there has to be because of the way they respond.
Yep.
Over the last 6 years, we've progressively gotten better, and that's happened. Round County, We were in a great mindset going into it. Practices were good, fun, loose. We get up there. Crowd was amazing.
Oh,
I haven't
my
seen
gosh.
Bath County show out like that and for a long, for anything.
Yeah.
And I thank the community for that. Elbow to elbow room. Brown County's boy coach right before the game said, "Dang, coach, you got a great crowd." I said, "Do we? I haven't really seen it." He said, "Man, they're still walking in the door." Then at the Menifee County game, Fleming got over, and then it's elbow to elbow. So thank you so much for that support. All young ladies noticed that.
Right.
Yeah.
They've never experienced that type of crowd, that type of environment. Bands playing, 4 schools in one gym. We have an awesome crowd, and I think it got overwhelming.
Mhm.
We didn't play a good first half. Down 25, 15 points in the first half is not a good. But we're not out of it. We're not in foul trouble. We just weren't doing the 3 keys. Blocking out, taking care of the basketball, and we stayed out of foul trouble. 1 out of 3, though. It's not good.
Right.
Okay? Halftime. Guys, it's okay. It's okay. We got the jitters out. We're good. You're going to win this game. And I wholeheartedly believed that at that time.
Yeah.
But I told him, I said, it's not going to be me coaching you. It's going to be because the hay's in the barn. Everything's prepared for you. You're prepped for it. You just got to go execute it like we've worked on. The love that you guys have for each other is going to carry you through this because you're going to fight for each other. Those were my exact words. We go out. We make a little run coming right back out. And it seems like every time we made a run, we would shoot ourselves in the foot with either a turnover, a bad shot, a missed block out to give them a putback basket, and we could just never give over that hump. You've got to catch a break every now and then, especially when you're trying to come back. And I never thought we caught that one break.
Right.
Did the girls quit fighting? You mean you were there? No, they fought tooth and nail.
Yeah.
We pull back in, calls go a certain way, couldn't catch that break. We're still fighting. We just couldn't. If we would have took the lead, I think we'd have been okay.
You all cut it to 2, correct?
Yeah, with the last second.
Yeah.
With the last second shot to tie it or possibly win it, depending on what we drew. But
that's one of the things we talked about last week. Was Sean and I have talked about it pretty much all week. 7.6 seconds. It's like the little kid, your dream scenario. 7.6 seconds. You got the ball under your basket, and you get 3 shots up, all 3 blocked. Same player shoots them, same player blocks them. And you've called 150
Fouls.
jump balls throughout that game, and not one of them qualifies for a foul or a jump ball or something. It was a crazy ending, but we thought you all had it. Now, we ended up on the wrong side in both games. We were there for Menifee and you all.
and the first
We
game
ended
was a
up
good
on the
game.
Fleming and the Rowling game.
It was almost mimicked. Fleming got out big to Menifee. Menifee come back but they could not. Menifee could not. Bless their hearts, could not get out of foul trouble, and they're not deep, right? I mean, you guys aren't super deep either, but they got into foul trouble, and they just there was no answer for it. Once Peyton fouled out, they lost all momentum.
Right.
And with you guys, it's like when you were talking about getting over that hump, it was like it was 5, and then it was 2, and then it was 5, and then it was 2, and you're like every time you would get to that point, there was that last 6-7 minutes. It's like how many times did you come down the floor with the opportunity to either tie the game or maybe draw within 1 or take the lead, and then like you said, something happened. You drop a ball out of bounds or one of them stupid jump balls. I swear to you, they called so many daggone jump balls in that thing that the arrow guy over there, the machine was smoking. And it's like, but like you said, Rowan County had that answer every freaking time. And I mean,
And he's getting serious. He said frickin'.
And I get it. But
the emotion was crazy in there. I was so fired up. I was standing up, cheering and yelling.
The first game was loud, but the Bath Round game, I thought the roof was coming
I
down.
told him when we left, I have not experienced an arena like that since I was a senior in high school when Shelby County and Anderson County were fighting to go to the state tournament in the regional.
postseason plays different. In the last couple of years, the draw has been, the boy and girls teams are both draw on the same teams to play.
Right.
So usually just do a boy girl doubleheader to save people money, bigger crowds. But we never really had a chance to win. Our fans showed up and showed out, and I just can't thank them enough about that. But like you said, we go in at halftime down 10. We come in, we come on a little run. Then did they have the answer, or did we not close the question and execute? We cut it down to 5, missed a rebound.
And they was back to 10.
Right. And then I think they was 13 at one time in the second half.
Yes.
But for these young ladies, for my girls not to give up, pull within 2, you have the ball, 7.5, 7.6 seconds left to go. That's a testament to them. We'll never quit. Camp Collier, you don't quit in that.
Yeah.
You will never quit. They fought till the very, very end. They knew the ball was supposed to go to Ashton. They took that away.
Yeah.
Well, that was going to be my question. That 7.6, missed 2,500 points. She had to want that ball, and as her coach, you had to want her to want the ball. I mean, like,
we called the timeout. The play was we were going to set a stack 3 on one side, her on the other. I was going to shoot her through. We were going to clear out the top.
Mm-hmm.
If they were going to stay and help, somebody been open. It's your show. You take it. I'm going to live and die with that situation.
Absolutely.
They called a timeout. I overthunk it. I changed things.
Yeah.
Okay. They kind of see what you're going to do. And if I'm a coach, I see that lineup. I'm like, okay, they're gonna pin her through and try to set a screen for her. So let's fake it. Let's roll you around. We've done it before this year. Let's post you up. Be strong. Get you an AM1. Let's go. If it doesn't work, Bailey, throw it into Mallory. Mallory, get right back to B, because Bailey French had a heck of a second half.
Yep.
Take that game.
Yeah.
B, get to the rim and get.
And she got there
twice.
Yeah.
So the play. So the first option wasn't there. The girls did exactly what they did. It just
the ball just didn't fall your way.
There was a taller girl there that no fault.
Yeah,
no fault.
I mean, at that point, like, it sounds like you admitted to overthinking the play.
Overthinking it.
But you still, the play ran just like you wanted it to.
Yeah, and if that goes in, Coach Collier's a genius.
Genius.
Yeah.
But it didn't, and it's funny in coaching though. The win side always goes to the players. The losses go to the coach.
Right.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
But I thought our girls played extremely hard. The most we talked about it the last time I played. I went to this 10th region finals and lost to Chris Lofton, Mason County by 4 points. Go state tournament. Always my dream. You're a kid. You're in the backyard. State tournament. It was just huge because the last time they went was when I was in 4th grade with Billy Ray Fons, Ryan Steger, in that group. And then when Happy Osborne came, they went back, obviously. But that was a gut wrenching loss as a player. This was the most gut wrenching loss as a coach. Yeah. Because every year we had like 2 years, maybe I thought we could beat Menifee County to get to the region. We weren't the better team, but I was like, there's an outside chance we'd do it. And that was my first year. And I think that was the COVID year. But other than that, we played around and it was like, let's go out there and keep it respectable. Right. But this year, there wasn't a doubt that we were going. That was the most gut-wrenching feeling. And when that final buzzer sounded, everything you worked for, over 125 practices, 30 games, not talking about the days you have off, but you're still thinking about basketball. Right, wrong, or indifferent as a coach. 60% of your time mentally, physically is focused on your team. 20% family and 20% somewhere else. It shouldn't be in that order. It just works out that way. But I have a great supportive wife. My girls love the game. Shout out to my wife. To give her a shout out. Love you. Thank you for everything you do. But it just happens because you get so consumed by the game. It just is what it is. And when that hits, everything you work for is done. There's no tomorrow. We're not going back to practice tomorrow to figure it out.
Right.
And I hated it for Kaylee, and I hated it for Ashton. And I told them, I thanked them for everything they did for our program. But I told those younger girls, let that hurt fuel you.
And it should hurt.
If it doesn't hurt, you weren't bought in anyway.
Bingo.
Those tears you're crying, you're supposed to. It's okay. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
Let that fuel you for the future. Mm-hmm. And if you're serious, post-game speech here, if you're serious about basketball and this really hurts you, how are you going to respond?
Yep.
Are you going to just come in? Oh, I'm going to get in the gym when I feel like it. Oh, I'm going to take the day off because it's not quote unquote mandatory.
Right.
I'm not going to spend 10 to 15 minutes just ball handling or shooting. Because 10 to 15 minutes every day is going to add up.
Yeah.
Am I going to take off? Is my off season really going to be off? I'm going to be working on some part of my game. Or am I really going to take it back because I hate this feeling?
Yeah.
Do I hate losing more than I love winning?
Yep.
And I straight up asked them that in the locker room and told some of them, you need to think about that and check, because if you can't do that, then this isn't the sport for you.
Right.
But if you can do that, Bath County's not done because the cupboard's not bare.
Right.
We lost 2 great seniors, but the cupboard's not bare. We can still have several good years of ball, but you have to be able to look yourself in the mirror and say, that feeling sucked. I don't want it anymore.
Right.
And here's what I'm going to do to fix it.
Right.
You know, we got out. It took a long time. The girls got out. It took Ashton extra longer to get out. 6 years of everything you've given to the program, and we couldn't make it.
Yep.
Call for her parents to come in. You know, she's out here by herself. Come on, help us get her out. I go in there with her parents are in there. You know, just everybody's crying. I just gave her a hug. I start bawling. That's my point about Mason County. 2 games I've cried after. Mason County, this game.
Yep.
And I just told her, I'm sorry that I couldn't get you there.
Yep.
I'm sorry that I couldn't get you to the region. Ashton didn't care about the record.
Right.
That was a byproduct of her career. That's great. She'll be remembered for that. Ashton wanted to play at the region.
Yeah.
I have replayed that game so many times in my head. On the way down here tonight, you just driving and thinking.
Yeah.
And especially different plays. What could I have done different? But at the end of the day, that's why you play the game. You don't just play it because you're going to win. And there's a lesson out of this for these young ladies. And for myself, I'll become a better coach because of this game. They'll become better players. They'll become better people. You had adversity. Down 10, could have gave up. Had some highs. Went back to some lows. Had some high. A game of emotions.
Yep.
13, could have gave up. You fought back with a chance to win it. You persevered through everything.
Yep.
Gut-wrenching loss. To be honest with you, if we could have made it to Moorhead and lost up there in the first round, I'd have been down here happy as whatever, you know. Oh, yeah, lost, but we made it to the region, monkey off the back, but we didn't do that.
Right.
And just knowing that in my heart and in my girls' hearts that I really felt we were the best team. I feel so bad for these young ladies who stuck out over 125 practices, 30 games, literal blood, sweat, and tears in practice.
Right.
Everything is not sunshine and rainbows. We talked about the last time.
Right.
I'm going to hold you accountable. Took my coaching. This was the best year as far as not having to deal with outside. I was able to coach this year,
right,
and not have to worry about outside distractions because we had 2 captains who handled the locker room. We had great parents who trusted me enough to coach their daughters.
Right.
Nobody wants to see their kid get yelled at. Nobody wants to see their kid get held accountable. But what I told them preseason, by me coaching your kids, you are opening them up to being vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
What's that mean, Coach? You're opening them up to understand that they're not 100% the best at everything they do.
And they're not the center of the world.
They're not the center of the world.
Yep.
They have faults.
Yep.
And that's okay. I'm going to point them out to them, and we're going to make them better. The kids these days can handle that. And my coaching style may or may not go well at other places, but it would because the kids will adapt. And I truly feel that way. But the parents have to get out of the way to let them adapt.
Bingo.
And my parents, especially this year and in the last year or so, allowed me to do that. And that's allowed the program to grow.
Yep.
But they had to trust me. And I'm not going to break that trust with the parent.
Right.
And so, you know, it is what it is.
Well, you know, you talked about, you know, you've replayed that game over and over. But just based off what you just said just now, down 10 at the half, go on a little run and start the second half. You get down by 13. You all persevered and bounced back every single time. At the end of the day, ball just didn't bounce your way. And that happens. You know, are there things that you could have done differently? Sure.
100%.
Are there things that your players could have done differently?
100%.
Sure. postseason play, as you know, sometimes you gotta have luck too.
Absolutely.
And Lady Luck just fell just a little bit short. But there's no doubt in my mind that you all won't that you're going to be back, and that monkey's going to get off your back.
And you, we're live. What's that sound about?
Together.
We win together, we lose together, but
Yep.
everything we do is together, and
Yep.
that's been a thing in our team, a saying in our team for the last several years.
Yep.
I could have done things better. They could have done things better.
Yep.
If we'd have won that game, it would be because we did it.
Right.
We lost together.
Right.
At the end of the day, those young ladies can look me in my face and look those seniors in the face and say, gave you what I had.
Yep.
Those seniors can look each other in the face. I gave you what I had. I'm okay.
Yep.
I'm okay with that.
Well,
I'm not okay with losing, but I'm okay with the effort.
One thing I'll point out should make you and the girls feel better is, like I said, Sean and I ended up on the wrong side. So we sat with Fleming County folks
I'm sorry.
in the first game.
Poor handicap seating in that game.
Yeah.
That was. I had my son with me, and
We
that
were
was the
going
only
to sit
place that
behind
we
the
could sit.
bench, which would have put us right behind you all and right behind Menifee. We ended up on the other side because they wouldn't let us wouldn't let Chase sit over there. So, but
Discrimination.
one of the things that happened
Freaking round.
is Fleming County had a whole section of fans that was right there with us. So in the first game, wasn't no big deal. In the second game, we're cheering for you all. They're all cheering for Rowan County.
Because they didn't want to play you.
And I asked
She
why,
straight up
and
said,
she
"We don't
said
wanna play
they were scared to play you all. So all the Fleming fans showed up to cheer on Rowan because they were scared to play Bath in the championship.
And if we'd have won that first game, we're cutting those nets.
Yeah.
There's not a doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
But there wasn't a doubt in my mind that we were going to get there, and it didn't happen. But like I said, Bath has been the doormat for so long in the 61st. That respect aspect that I felt Fleming, was telling you guys.
Yeah, because that's respect.
That's exactly what that is. These girls have earned that.
Yep.
And they can say, people can say all they want about coaching. I'm not going to take any credit. Those young ladies worked their tails off to earn the respect of everybody in their district.
Right.
And the community showed out to support them, and you can't ask anything more than that. Yeah, we could have executed better. I could have called a better game. I could have controlled this better, that.
Could have paid the refs more money.
Exactly. And I'm still not sure that Coach Stokes didn't go to college with one of the guys who we were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, if we rebound like we're supposed to,
Yep.
we hit free throws, especially in the first half, like we're supposed to, we take care of the ball better. We're not talking about a walk call and a three-pointer. We're not talking about having to come back down from 13 because I literally think we'll be up 6 or 7 at that point. We're just talking about taking care of the ball and not turning it over, getting fouled, making shots at the end to ice the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
So as much as I want to say this and that, I can pinpoint there's not one possession in any basketball game, soccer game, football game that will lose you a game.
Bingo.
I've heard people, that cost us a game. No, it didn't.
No, it didn't.
That happened in the fourth quarter at a crucial time.
Right.
But those 3 turnovers in the
say.
first quarter that led to 6 points or whatever, that could have lost you
The
the
12 missed free throws lost you the game.
Lost you the game.
But that turnover also happened because you had to change your game plan because of what you did the first 3 quarters.
Exactly. So don't let anybody tell you one play lost the game. If you're an athlete and you make a crucial mistake at any point in any time in any sport, you didn't lose it for your team. The team lost it because I've never seen a perfect game played by anybody. Christian Leitner, Tim, whatever, don't like him from Duke. But he had some fouls. It still wasn't a perfect game.
Yep.
It's not you. It's a team game for a reason.
Yep.
So, looking forward to next season. What's your hopes going into next season, Coach?
My hopes is that we can get back in the gym mid-May, work all summer, fundamentals, a lot of individual skill work. I'm only going to schedule about a 2-week summer. I don't believe in the 30-game summer season. I just think you don't need to play a full basketball season in a month. Well, you're not playing. To me, that's silly. Let's play us 12 to 15 games, if that, and let's get better as a team.
Yeah.
Hit the weights hard because we're all still young. We got one senior coming back, junior, some sophomores and freshmen, 8th graders are going to step up. We have to get stronger. We have to develop. We have to become a better shooting team. Our percentages of shooting not the best. Right. We have to get better at that.
Will Bailey be your leader this year? Isn't it Bailey?
Bailey French, yeah. It's her time.
Yeah.
Ready or not.
She's really good with the ball.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But they've never played without Ashton.
Right. Speaking of Ashton just tuned in. Hello, Ashton. Good to see you.
Sub 10.
We've said some decent things about you. You need to go back and watch it.
Yeah, just one or two things.
I mean, one or two nice things.
It's hard, man, because as hard as I've taken it, and I'm sure the other girls have taken it hard too, and I'm not saying they haven't, but the connection that her and I have as a coach and the bond we developed, I'm not sure if she's cried today, but I know she's at least cried up until yesterday.
She's probably crying right now. You probably just turned the faucets on.
In other news, is she ready to make her commitment yet?
You mean we?
Yes.
She is
together, right?
Right. Her and I together, right? No, she has an idea.
Okay.
She's of where she's going, but it's not public yet, and that's not my place to say.
Well, no, I understand.
But when she does, I think she will. We will let you all know, and I think she would love to have you guys there.
I was going to say that's kind of been what our thing is.
We got that mobile setup, right? So we can come. We can come set up.
Thanks to Kelwell Commissary and Simply Secure on that.
Yes.
See, I did that. You liked that, didn't you? So, and also a show of respect. Like, you all earn fans from this podcast just by the way you all were willing to come in and talk to us. Just and going out and watching, like, so I mean, we've bought in. Like, we're here with you. Like, we're together in this.
Man, and you don't know how much that means. Because Bath County, even when I played Bath County, I didn't look at Bath County as anything.
Yeah,
I played Montgomery County. What are we playing? No, that's not a rival game. Clark's the rival game. Bath County's an easy dub. Yeah. We're not an easy dub anymore.
Right.
We went over here and we've changed this culture. In 6 years, the culture has changed. And these young ladies have fought hard. Ashton Barrett, Kaylee Crouch are not walking out on that court next year. First time these younger classmen have not had her except when they were freshmen and not playing 8th grade in middle school. Jerica Norris, the lone senior. It's your time. Bailey French. They know your name now.
And Jerica is a microwave, man. She reminded me of Penny Microwave Johnson. She is a spark plug out there. Hustle.
I was getting ready to say that's the one that caught my eye.
Yeah.
With her size, you think you would count her out, but
fight a running buzzsaw. Doesn't care.
You can see it in her. You can see it. I mean, she takes
the game serious.
Yeah.
Every little thing that happens, you can see the
makes
fire in her eyes.
Jay, I'll do better, Coach. Go get them, girl.
I mean, so the pieces are still there, Coach.
Right. Bailey French, it's your time.
Yep.
Jerica, lone singer, let's go. Mallory Cox is going to be a sophomore this year. That's a young lady come back from her ACL injury, but she had previous varsity experience as well. Ashlyn Ratliff getting her back off ACL, who we missed the whole year. Another sophomore coming back.
You got Fareed.
Kyra Fareed going to be a freshman next year. Whatever she decides to do, hope it's with us. The pieces are there.
Yep.
We're already Josie Reed, who played a heck of a role for us this year as an 8th grader, came in there. The pieces are there for us to still be 6-7 deep, but it's going to be more of a collective unit because we are not going to have Ashton.
Right.
But that's fine.
Yeah.
We can play without her. But people are going to have to believe in themselves to do it.
Right.
It's going to have to be a new offense, new approach, but we're still going to have – but these young ladies have it in them to do that.
Right.
And we're not going to be a stepping stone next year. Fleming loses quite a bit.
Yep.
Menifee brings back. They're going to be good again.
Yeah, they only lose the one senior this year.
Yeah.
Riley Hall.
Then Round, they're losing, I think, one senior, and they're still young. But it's not like we're going in that game feeling like we're going to get 30-piece.
Right.
Like let's go compete again.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the district could be crazy again next year. And that's what these young ladies need to understand, that this season ended up on a bad note, but that doesn't take away from everything that you've accomplished. Build on this season, build on the legacy you've already made, and let's go see what happens next year.
Right.
I mean, you still finished the season with 19 wins, which you told us after after the game we were there
Against the team that was under 500.
Yeah, against the team that was under 500.
Good thing it would have been 18, but it was
You all
19.
pulled that one out.
That that's the first time you all have hit that many wins in a long time, right?
Since 1992.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't keep up with that. My dad's biggest story.
I was going to say, we can tell you don't keep up with that.
1992. No, my dad. My dad does a lot of stories.
The score was 72 to 43. I don't keep up with that stuff. Though.
Numbers are his thing. He goes back check the record books. Our trainer, Broderick Moore, Bath County, and goes back, KHSBLA website, asks alumni what happened, blah, blah, filled out papers, just the records of everything. So that's how I know.
Right.
Not saying that, February 12th, 1992 was the last time that this happened.
Right.
With a 50 to 48 win for Coach Opie Newkirk, and didn't know anything about that.
Hey,
I just threw out numbers there.
Moco legend there.
But Opie Newkirk was the last coach that had a 19-win season in 1992. If you're a young lady on my team right now, you're in excellent company.
Yeah.
I think the world of Opie Newkirk.
One of the best.
The best.
Yep.
And to be in that company with her team, our team being mentioned in that same company, if you're listening, my team, congratulations.
Yeah.
That's not a small task. That's not a small feat in Bath County.
Right.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Yeah.
Be proud of that.
Absolutely.
And the before we move on to the other part of the show, I'll just say this.
Other part of the show. What?
Yeah, well, we haven't broke that on you yet. Just act like you didn't say it.
Yeah. If Ashton doesn't share that post on Twitter, we probably don't even reach out to you guys at this point, But it was just like, hey, look at that! She's the record holder for the girls over there. We should get them on.
And Wes was like, I know the coach.
Yeah.
And yet he was not the one that reached out.
I know.
Can you edit that?
Yeah. No, we don't want to edit
No,
that.
we don't.
We don't want to edit that.
We absolutely will leave that in there.
So, so Coach, Sean just kind of spoiled the news. We wanted to have you on, obviously, to wrap up the show. But I feel like you had a good time when you were on with us last time.
Loved it.
And Sean and I were talking about the show, and he said, well, Coach is going to be on. Of course, I didn't know that because they told me. They probably sent emails. I didn't know that. And I was like, Coach? He said, yeah, Coach Collier. And I was like, oh, send him the topics. Maybe he'll want to join us.
Before we go there, I had such a great time on here. When we left here, hey, girls, did y'all enjoy that? We know you did, Coach. Kind of like a little bit, I'm like, y'all jealous and I got a little bit more airtime? I watch reels all the time of podcasts. I'm like, if you can make money doing that, sign me up.
Right. We haven't figured that part out yet.
But when you do, man, that 5% that he gave me of the company,
right.
Man, it's awesome.
It is awesome.
I'm all in.
He only gave you 5%. Every other coach, I think, he's been given 15. They might have played more.
They probably played above 500.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Region.
You all are getting paid?
Listen, here's what I'll do. I will give you my salary that I've made off this show.
And actually, that I don't want to do that. It'll just be a donation to the Booster Club.
Okay.
Carry the two. Yeah, we can get 0. Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
We got that.
All right. So,
best I can do is donate.
I was going to say, we got some little Debbie cakes over there.
My pay comes out of a snack box.
Adam, speaking of which, Sean has brought your fudge rounds, but since you've been MIA in weeks, Darren, myself, and Coach basically ate those. So thank you for winning that bet. Thanks, Sean, for following through on it. They were delicious.
In the chocolate fudge rounds, that was the best. Not just thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
I mean, it's delicious. So
There might be 3 left.
we're not done yet.
We still got a whole.
We still got-
4 of us in this room.
Well, I mean, Sean's not eating.
It's a good thing you're on the
I'm
no
not
sugar
eating.
diet.
He's on the no sugar diet. Liz, better ease up on the old boy. He's on the no sugar diet. We found out last show, Coach, our coach's corner, that Sean and his wife were hooked up by Cupid. John Cupid Zink hired Sean at Kroger, and Sean met the love of his life, the apple of his eye, his wife, at the deli at Kroger, all because John Zink played Cupid and was tender before tender.
Yeah,
Was he invited to the wedding?
he was.
Was he the best man?
He was not. That was my dad.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Was he up there with you?
No,
In spirit.
we weren't that close.
The man literally found you your wife.
Right. I mean, the love of your life.
But you know,
You had kids, right?
That within 30 days you locked it
Right.
down.
Whoa, what?
They
yeah.
what June 6th? I mean January 6th.
January 6th.
January 7th, I started there. January 9th was the first time we met. January 15th was the first phone call. January 22nd was the first date, and we were engaged on February 14th.
My
Married in
man.
October.
If nothing else in life, Sean Kuiper does not let grass grow under his feet.
My man. Up top.
It'll be 25 years this year.
You 25?
It'll be 25
That's
years
awesome, man.
this
So
year.
congratulations.
Yep.
You don't really hear about like a long-term marriage. A lot of these.
I mean,
Congratulations.
she's divorced me 12 times, but I
He
refuse
just
to
hadn't
leave.
left. That's the problem.
I was like, I'm not leaving.
Hey, you still hold don't leave.
Yeah.
Too much,
No. If I leave, I got to pay her money.
We're gonna need 10,000 downloads to help get us this
Right.
money, just in
Please.
case.
We're going to have to start monetizing this.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, Sean,
Ask Coach about being a rook card playing professional.
Ryan Cox or CJ Reed?
CJ Reed.
I spoke with there, Josie Reed,
Mhm.
Josie's dad, Mallory Cox. Heard me talk about her. Playing rook, friendly game. You know,
Nothing's ever friendly when it comes to
nothing's
rook.
ever friendly, especially when you're competitive.
Yeah.
And then when you just don't get cards, you just don't get cards. It's not that you're a bad player; it's just the cards don't come your way. When you have 8 trump and I have 1, I can't win.
He's sending laughing with crying emoji.
Hey, listen.
And I swear, like it was just him and Mr. Cox. Just their hands were the only ones hitting me and my partner, and it couldn't be me.
no.
But if the cards aren't hitting, you can't win. I don't care what you. If we would have switched chairs, that game he's not talking right now.
Right.
And it just is what
He'd
it
be
is.
eating crow.
Or the rook. Yeah.
Shoot.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, like,
That's funny.
hey, you know why girls can't?
They can't even.
Can't even.
You know, that's why they're so odd. You like that one. Your girls, there was an audible groan. They were like, oh.
I literally said that in practice the next day, and everybody else was like, "What?" And Ashton just said, "Oh, don't worry about it."
You know why teenage girls are so odd? Because they can't even. So Sean, on our little Tommy, look, I'm pulling the curtain back a little bit. He came up with this great idea. Let's do 5 topics in 5 minutes, and I was like, okay. We've never once accomplished 5 topics in 5 minutes because of stuff like this. We just carry on nonsense.
Let's do it.
So,
I just refuse to change the title of it right now.
we know that you refuse to
It
change
should
it,
be 5 topics in 55 minutes.
or
but-
whenever we're done talking. That's
Yeah.
so.
It's 5 topics in 5 shows is what I thought.
And so,
lately, it's been like no telling what's going to happen. You know,
well, we were off the rails last week, Coach,
before we got on
before
the
it
show.
even started. But in my defense, when I'm left unsupervised without an agenda, then I'm left to my own devices. And it's Sean's fault.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, if you go by a script every time, I don't think you're going to get 10,000. You go unscripted and raw and unedited, you'll be at 20,000 before you know it.
And that's how I live life.
People love just genuine, here it is.
Right.
Jerica Norris wanted me to say.
should have been the best one.
Jerica says, "Tell the coach that the team loves him."
That's my girl.
Yep.
I'll take her in a heartbeat
Hey,
right now.
that's our
My wife
microwave
and I.
right there, man. That's one.
The
we talk about.
microwave.
That's your new nickname,
Like
Jerica. Your new nickname is microwave.
when I say run through a brick wall, and not why, it's which brick you want down.
Yeah,
Love her.
yeah.
My wife and I'll take her right now.
That's awesome.
Love her.
So we give terrible sports takes here. So anything you say will not be nearly as bad as something one of us is going to say.
I don't think anything can be as bad as all these teams are under 500. Just take the dig. So I think with the bar set pretty
Right.
low. So
We
let's
did-
run this.
I mean, that was low hanging fruit. Why he did that, I don't know.
First time out the gate.
And
Actually-
you came back. That's the
For the record,
And he's the only one that got gear right now.
right. He's the only one got gear.
for the record, I said Martin County's the only team with a winning record. I never said anybody about being under 500.
But you said it.
But you did say
there
it.
were some teams that were 500.
But you didn't say let's go play Martin County.
That's true.
Yeah.
He wanted us to go to Martin County. It's a good thing that we didn't because they didn't show up.
Right.
They knew they was going to get their tails kicked.
Right.
So,
Hey, that's
right?
and then it would have been 20,
Then it would have been 20 wins.
and we're in a whole different.
Whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
So the NFL Combine has started.
Yes.
Bro, have you all? There are some big men that are running super fast.
Can I start that one?
Yes.
Braden Fisk, Florida State. I'm a Florida State guy.
Yeah.
Transferred in from Eastern Michigan, somewhere. I don't know exact small college. Transfer portal helped him out.
Uh-huh.
Nose tackle, defensive line,
And was moving.
bugging.
Moving.
Even he finished the 40 and was like, "Oh yeah, did you see that clip?"
Yeah.
Like I'm a Florida State guy through and through football, especially. Booked it.
Yes.
Draft stock rose.
Yes.
Did somebody break John Ross's record?
Yes, there was a receiver that did.
That's what
He
I thought.
broke the record and then never stopped running until he got back to the original.
Was that the
zone.
kid from Clemson?
I believe it was.
Well, I forgot his last name, but I thought it was from the wide receiver from Clemson, maybe, who did that.
Yeah,
If I'm not mistaken.
Did you see the comparison where they had McCaffrey's brother against him?
And he was faster.
Yeah, he outran his brother.
Well, and was it your lineman that he was faster than like Patrick? Like it was they
Patrick
put,
Mahomes.
He was faster. He was
Yeah.
faster than Mahomes 40.
Like, and then did you see Brady?
Yeah.
They did a skit of him.
Old Brady's faster than young
faster
Brady.
than younger Brady.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not by much, but he is faster.
That's funny.
He gets that body moving.
It's a UK players had some good showing out. Wallace,
Yep.
linebacker. I mean, he had some good measurements.
What about the prima donna, Sean's favorite player in the draft, Caleb Williams?
Oh man, go ahead. I'm listening.
No, he's not my favorite. He's definitely not my favorite.
That's not what you
player.
were saying earlier,
That's not what he said last week.
right?
How are you
He's
supposed to go
new
number
quarterback
one?
for the Bears.
Yeah, he'd already bought a Caleb Williams jersey.
The Bears?
I don't like his attitude. I mean,
Neil, did I not just say that last week?
he refuses to do medicals. He didn't want to meet with the team. He was supposed to go to Chicago and meet with the team today, and he told him, he's like, no, you can wait till team day. You know,
He doesn't want to go to Chicago, right?
I don't think he wants to go anywhere.
I mean, him and his dad came up with some preposterous plan that they would be able to circumvent the rookie salary system and have like the biggest signing in history. Like that's not going to happen. That was collectively bargained.
Yeah.
That's true.
But it's like he has this aura about him that he's just like, I don't have to do anything. But you know,
He's not throwing.
he didn't do any of that, right? And Marvin Harrison Jr. didn't do anything either. And you know, I saw something earlier before we recorded. It's like this is where we're at now. These guys are in the NIL era. They're not going to the combine to try to prove their self to anything, right? They're larger than life. They know that they're a big deal.
Because now they're brands.
And you know, we talked about last week about LeBron James, how he like ruined the previous week we talked about how he ruined the All-Star
Slam dunk
game,
contest.
right?
Yep.
Well, you kind of go back. He's the guy that created the super teams and all this stuff. You're going to look back to like right now, like this draft. You look back 10 years from now, you're going to look back at Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. and you're going to be like, they're the guys that changed the combine. They changed how the draft worked. They changed the NFL as we know it because they refused to go, you know, do this stuff. And I'm just the way I look at it. If you're an NFL team and you draft Caleb Williams and he doesn't want to play ball with you before you ever even draft him, I don't want him on my team.
Eli Manning, San Diego Chargers.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah,
So
he
he
wouldn't
wouldn't play
play.
there, right?
Yeah, did not want to play.
He
there.
did win 2 Super Bowls, so it panned out for him. But don't tell me where you're going to be drafted.
Yeah.
Right.
You haven't proved anything to yourself.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, although Sean's view flip-flopped
That's
from
flip-flop.
last week,
that's flip.
I will double down on mine and say Caleb Williams' ego has gotten too big for what he can actually do.
Well, and for somebody that hasn't done anything, you won the Heisman, but
you haven't proven you went back. You came back to school and you promised you were going to be in the college football playoffs last
you
year.
were worse.
Yeah,
I mean, statistically, he was fine, but I mean, Notre Dame owned him. Every time he played a good defense, he couldn't do anything against it. So,
Shadur Sanders or Caleb Williams?
I would take Shadur Sanders. But to me, Jalen Daniels is the best quarterback in the draft, and J.J. McCarthy's right behind him. That's.
I think Devin Leary is the best quarterback in the draft.
I'm not sold on Daniels. I think that was I think Penix should have won it, the Heisman,
because he had big Penix energy.
I don't disagree with you. Michael Penix
John Cook.
Gordon Johncock.
Yes,
get his name right, Coach.
Kentucky offensive terrier.
Yes. What about that offensive?
Did you do the research?
So I did look at it. So I had seen everything you see on TikTok's true, right?
Yeah. So
I had seen that Kentucky in 3 games had scored more points than Virginia had in an entire month. It's not necessarily true. It was like 6 games though. So Kentucky scored more points in a week than Virginia had in like 6 games. So 319 points is what they've scored the last 3 games. Something has clicked. Maybe it's Cal's got out of the way. I don't know, but something has clicked. I have maintained all along that this team is capable of cutting down the nets, and they're still
the betting favorite.
They're still the betting favorite to win the national championship. But they're capable to go out and beat anybody in the nation. But they're also capable to go out and lose to anybody in the nation, too.
Here's my thing, and this is coming from a high school girls coach who receives a really small stipend to coach and not $10 million with a lifetime contract. He shortened his rotation, I feel like. We're not trying to play 2 bigs at one time. He's playing the best big, and then, if you're playing good, you come out. I feel like that's a change. Reed Shepherd's got to be on the floor. The guy Justin Edwards is coming to his own. If you continuously put up 100 points, you're going to win games. What happens on an off shooting night? Are you going to be able to stop somebody from scoring? No. That's my biggest thing with this team. You score 100 and then Arkansas scores over 100. I mean, that's 2 high-powered offenses. But how are we going to work on this defense?
Right.
Well, and that's 2 games in a row that they've scored over 100. And their opponent scored
90
either
to 100.
right at it or over 100.
And I know it's hard to play defense. People are like, the NBA is like, doesn't play defense. Well, I listen to J.J. Redick. He's like, that is totally not true. First off, you're going to have higher scoring games because you got a shorter shot clock. But these are professionals, and these are college athletes who spend a lot of time on their craft who know how to score. Yeah. So I think they're trying to play defense. But at the end of the day, can you get 3 stops here, 3 stops there, to help push our offense over the limit?
Right.
Kentucky has all the pieces, in my opinion, to cut down the nets.
Yep.
Calipari, like you said, maybe has gotten out of the way, but I think you got to let Rob Dillingham do his thing. Like he
might be the best player in the country.
We could, but then there's some questionable times. He's like, "What are you doing?"
Right.
But you got to live with that.
Yep.
You got to live with that.
Yeah. Did
Reed
you all
Shepherd,
see
I think.
the latest draft?
Dillingham and Shepherd both are
Dillingham
top
at
5.
3 and Shepherd at 5.
Because they've got the 2 foreign guys going 1 and 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, so you take them out of the way. Dillingham's top guy in the draft, if he keeps playing the way he is, he might move his way up to that number 1 spot.
How athletic is Thiero? I wasn't that like at the beginning of the year. I was like, he's starting.
Yeah.
Dude's super athletic. He's picked up some big minutes here lately.
I mean, like you said, the pieces are all there. It's just getting those pieces together, which leads us to our next topic, the NCAA bracketology, which I hate the bracketology because
not a Joe Lunardi fan.
Joe Lunardi puts out 709 brackets starting as soon as they cut down the nets and We Are the Champions is playing. And he puts out next season's. And then he wants to talk about how he got, I got 65 of the 68 picks right. Well, you did 743 brackets. Of course you got – I'm disappointed you didn't get them all right, you
100%,
joker.
100%.
But Kentucky had fallen down to the 8-9 line for a little while.
How do you fall down that low and Kansas has how many losses and they're still in the top 5 or number 1?
They fell out of the top 10 for the first time in like 3 years or something.
I just Kentucky
because of
hatred.
the love that the Big 12 gets. I mean, it's just like Houston. You know, I mean, Adams all over Houston. He's guaranteed. He's like money. They're going to the Final Four. Not like
I would take that bet with Adam.
They're not
going to make that.
I told him I put money on it. They're not going to the Final Four. Purdue's not going to the Final Four, and Arizona's not going to the Final Four. Give them all 1 seeds if you want to, but they ain't going to the Final Four.
And Tennessee's not either because they have Rick Barnes as their head coach, and Rick Barnes does not coach in March.
Yeah, well, and Tennessee's probably – and if Tennessee –
Coach Collier hasn't either.
But you beat a lot of below 500 teams.
Oh, absolutely.
If Tennessee beats Kentucky Saturday and goes on to win the SEC tournament, they'll be a number 1 seed.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I don't think they get a 1 seed.
I still think that UConn has a better team than they did last year, and they're the favorites to repeat.
See, I differ on you to the UK point. I think if they win out, the high still gives a 2. I think the Kentucky hatred is so bad they'll only get a 2 seed.
Kentucky is the only team that they'll be ranked in the top 25, and they have them down as like a 9 seed.
I like this team. I honestly think they're clicking. Offense is clicking. They can cut the nets. Let's go ahead and say, pending what side of the brackets people are on, I'm going to say UK, UConn. I'm going to go Creighton.
I'm going to go Creighton.
Creighton and Kansas.
I could see Kansas or North Carolina filling in that other spot. But I think this is the year that Cal takes Kentucky back to the Final Four.
Well,
or he has to be fired.
If they want, amen, brother. If they wind up getting onto that 8 or 9, that is not fair for another.
Well, no, I think they're going to end up.
Probably
they're going to end up in
right?
the 4 or 5 range. Depending on what they do in the SEC tournament, I think they could go 3, 2, maybe even.
They win it, I think they get a 2.
But they're going to be somewhere between 5 and 2, I think.
Can I introduce the next topic?
Absolutely.
Girls basketball.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark.
She's okay, isn't she?
Decent.
She's decent.
Well, according to Jay
she's
Williams.
No Ashton Barrett.
No, absolutely not. According to Jay Williams, former player at Duke, she's not that good. Did you see that on College Game Day?
And you know,
Jason Williams.
What has Jay Will ever done?
Thank you.
He gets a lot of airtime on this show about how
For doing nothing.
Doing nothing.
For wrecking his motorcycle and almost killing himself.
I mean, he said Kentucky was the Dallas Cowboys of college basketball.
But that's not wrong.
I can't argue with that.
That's not wrong.
Caitlin Clark broke Pistol Pete's record. Should it count?
Pistol Pete's son says no.
Because a lot of people are mad because, Pistol Pete did not play. Well, 1, I don't think he played 4 years. 2, there was no 3-point line back then.
He did it in 3 years with no 3-point shot.
Yeah.
Should it count? My opinion, yes. Why does one have to be better than the other? Why can't we just say, man, that's great on both accounts?
Yeah.
Well,
2 different errors.
I was going to say it's no different than the GOAT conversation between LeBron and Michael.
Oh no, it's Jordan.
Well, I know, but like you can't compare.
You agree?
Yes.
Oh, that's easy. It's Jordan.
But you can't. It's such different.
You're a
errors.
LeBron guy.
No.
He hates LeBron.
No.
Thank you.
No,
Thank
I think everybody in this
Jordan
room is Jordan.
But
let's just appreciate the greatness of both.
bingo, it was a great feat.
Like Ashton breaking that record. It's different, boys and girls. You broke it, but I'm going to appreciate her and Zach for having them, both of them.
Yeah.
I'm going to appreciate Ashton more because I'm Ashton a little bit more because that's my girl.
Yeah.
But
he's still the all-time leading
boy
boy scorer,
yeah.
right? So
and Caitlin Clark is going to. How many young ladies has she influenced? I want to be Caitlin Clark. I'm pulling up in the driveway, way behind a 3-point line.
She is.
Are you surprised she's going on to the WNBA?
No, I think she's going to save the WNBA.
You think?
I think she's that kind of.
Her salary is going to be $75,000 a year.
I bet it's more than that.
I mean, that's what it is now.
Maybe a signing bonus or something.
But that's the kind of players that the WNBA needs.
Yeah.
Because it's a terrible product right now.
It is. She has some star power. She has some star power.
She has star power.
But the minute that she announced that she was going pro, the Indiana Fever put their season tickets on sale and were selling them like crazy.
Yeah.
So
she'll be
you
good
can
for the
already buy her
WNBA.
jersey.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like We don't have no deliberation. We're picking Clark.
As soon as the Fever get the number one pick, it's like we're taking Caitlin Clark. So just go on and mark it down.
She's not even declared. It doesn't matter. We're taking her.
We're taking
anyway.
her. She doesn't know this yet, but she is. She's going to play for us next year.
I mean, for what she's done for girls college basketball is just amazing. Yeah. And you can't. But Pistol Pete is Pistol Pete. You appreciate both in greatness, and let's roll with it.
I mean, Indiana's within pretty close driving distance. Old Dad here probably had to go watch Caitlin play once.
Okay.
Because I'm a huge fan of Caitlin.
I've never been to a professional basketball game.
I haven't either.
Baseball, football, hockey, I've been there. I've not done basketball.
Yeah, I haven't
let's
either.
roll.
I haven't either, so let's do it.
So the old man can drive.
You don't want West driving.
No, I drive.
Oh, okay.
You don't want West driving.
Gotcha.
If you want to get there, you don't want West to drive.
Well, you'll get there. Yeah. What condition are you going to be in when you get there? Hey, butthole, tight.
Hey,
how many bathroom breaks does he take being old?
Oh, well, he has his catheter, so he just.
Do you remember?
Sean is the bathroom break king.
Yeah.
That's every 50 miles.
Ernest Saves Christmas.
Yes.
You know when he's driving the car and the dude sliding in the back holding his briefcase.
Yeah.
That's what it's like riding with Wes. It's like.
Does he have to go?
He doesn't have to go.
I mean, we can be like, hey, we'll be back at this little thing we got to do. We'll come back.
We can just tell him it was a different weekend.
Or maybe, hey, or Tuesday, hey, you run the show. We got something to do. We'll be back. Like I'm in on this all of a sudden.
Right, you are.
Yeah, like, hey, man, it's all you tonight. Got other obligations.
And another hand up here.
So
his head don't go up there before mine does.
Absolutely not, man. But we can be a 6-man team, dude.
Well, I mean,
the 6-pack.
I mean, those two haven't been here in a while, so we probably just
they probably didn't forgot where the studio is.
Just plaster your all's faces over.
They forgot where the studio is. So Chris Mortensen died.
I probably should have put that in a different range.
There's no easy way. So Chris Mortensen died.
Rip.
How do we feel about that? I mean,
when I think vital part of the ESPN.
When I think football, of ESPN football, Chris Mortensen's the first name that I think of.
I feel like he was I felt like he was just a guy that had really good character. I feel like everybody, for the most part, got along with him. He had, if he said something, breaking news, it is what it is.
Right.
And I feel like he come out, and it's going to be a huge loss for the NFL, or not NFL. That's what I say.
ESPN.
I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, it's going to be a huge loss for the NFL too.
Yeah, but just the ESPN and in general, man, it's just that you hate when something like that happens.
Yeah.
You almost say icon, but maybe not an icon, but a permanent fixture.
He's one of those guys that, like I said, when I think about ESPN growing up and football inside Chris Morton, I don't think about Schefter.
He's a staple in the ESPN community.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, Schefter doesn't exist if it's not for Chris Mortensen.
No. Yeah. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So, Coach, are you a pro wrestling fan?
Bret the Hitman Hart.
He is the Heiner's white bread. Best there is, the best there was, the best there
ever will be.
Yep. So you go back to some of our earlier episodes, you'll find out where that Heiner's white bread came in. What are you doing, Sean?
You good?
That was on the very first episode.
It was?
Yeah.
What episode are we on now?
We're probably getting close to 180, 190.
The fact that you can't pinpoint that means you guys are doing an excellent job.
Listen, I couldn't pinpoint it because I haven't listened to any of them.
Honestly, I don't keep up with it.
And he's going to be able to relate. No, I don't keep up with it. We've actually recorded 9,602 minutes.
Just like me on the
right.
I have no clue back in 1992 when they did all this.
So
we're on, I think this is 40 for season 3.
Oh, we're on season 3.
Season 3.
I didn't know we did seasons.
I didn't either.
Actually, 212 episodes.
Awesome.
So, I mean, if you're bored, there's lots of content to keep you busy.
Hey, one thing when we started doing this, we thought about quitting after 1 year, right?
Yeah, we did.
Like, well, at least we can't say that we don't have content.
We don't have content out there.
There's definitely content.
I mean, we have 212 episodes now. Yeah. So
some of them are 30 minutes. Some of them are almost 2 hours.
Right. Just because
we're headed that direction tonight.
We're not.
Am I talking too much?
No. We're not. We have no time constraints. Okay. I have a face for this. So we'll just keep talking. So. What are you laughing about?
Where's Gordon at?
Are you still watching for comments? Because I'm not on there.
Where's Gordon at?
Gordon.
Can I give a shout out to Brent Wehunt, one of y'all sponsors?
Yeah.
Brett, as he says.
It is definitely Brent.
Yeah,
Definitely. Brent looking good, my guy.
Well, but how good does Gordon Johncock look?
Peace signs.
Gordon, you want to talk?
I think he's saying peace.
He is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing more American
That's 2 wins.
2 wins.
than Gordon Johncock.
You bought that for $1 and you could sell it for priceless. I mean, your priceless, you would never sell it.
as of right now, it is quadrupled in value just for being on this show tonight.
There's more people that are watching right now that know about Gordon Johncock than have ever known about him in his whole entire life.
I love the way that you highlight the John Cock.
I mean, we're definitely at what, 1,500 views, if not 1,750.
I don't know this for sure, but I'm guessing he probably has that big Penix energy. Would be my guess.
We told the softball girls last show that we were in 17 countries.
And they were like, do what now? I was like, there's millions of people that watch us worldwide.
She said, there wasn't that many when we were here with basketball. Well, we've grown.
We've grown some.
And I'm gonna go on a limb and say I'm gonna shoulder some of that because we broke the internet. When you had basketball,
We did.
1.8 thousand views.
Didn't AT&T shut down the next day?
It may have.
I think it did.
Like, I went back and purposely did my homework. Most views you all had, and I looked every day. I just said Bath County is on the map. WWE. WWE.
What do y'all think about Paul
They
Heyman?
broke AT&T last time and broke Facebook today. Just
Right. I mean,
Facebook.
We put y'all that we were advertising you all to be on the show, Coach. Facebook shut down.
It
People thought it
dropped
was
at 8.
election interference.
Facebook dropped
It was
at
just
9.
us Bath
It
coming.
was together. We coming.
We coming. We here.
We here. Can we keep receipts?
I think Paul Heyman being the first name is the right choice.
He's very deserving.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done everything. He's one of the greatest minds in the pro wrestling business.
I mean, what about Michael Cole last night giving him props of training him on how to
Be a pro.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman's really good.
Yeah, for sure.
Coach, what do you think?
I'm gonna go with you guys on that. He does.
So-
I'm gonna go with you all on that.
I'm gonna show you all.
Doesn't know who Paul Heyman is.
I'm going to show you
Paul
all
Heyman's with the bloodline right now, right?
how good of a.
And he was with Brock Lesnar.
See, look,
okay.
see,
All
look,
right,
see.
all right.
Hey, first you talk about him only playing under 500.
Now
you're questioning.
I don't know anything about WWF. And
John, we're
not
trying to
WWE.
keep these guys coming
We
back.
just told him that we liked the guy.
And not WWE. When it was WWF,
What is it?
World Wrestling Federation.
What was it that Adam said the other day that I'm becoming the heel of the show?
Yeah, that should be my role.
Just like The Rock right now with the bloodline.
What? So real
Coach,
quick,
since Sean keeps doing this to you, you know who else wears 4X?
Darren does.
I'll just go ahead and take that home.
The heck you
Enough said.
So here's the thing. My favorite Paul Heyman memory. I'm an old school guy. I love old school wrestling. He was Paul E. Dangerously in WCW. And around 91-ish, him and James E. Cornette, Jim Cornette, the Louisville Slugger, were in a tuxedo match.
Tuxedo match.
So how you win a tuxedo match is you have to rip the other person's tuxedo off. Paul E. Dangerously got beat in that one, and he was wearing red underwear. I'll never forget it as long as I live. And then he did the
What did they call
his Gordon Johncock was out. Sorry, there's high school kids watching. Lord, I apologize.
Raw and unfiltered, and all he remembers is what another man's underwear color was from that match.
And him running up the rampway trying to hide himself. It was great. It was great. So, thank you for that. It's a fond memory of my childhood. Embed it right here.
Rocking the bloodline. What do you think? I'm trying to move on, man. I can't picture that.
You want to though. You better hope he doesn't give me your number because I would just text you pictures of it all the time.
So speaking of Paul Heyman,
My name.
he caught The Rock doing the L
Yep,
last Friday night.
he did.
Because he's not been acknowledging the one. He's been doing the L.
But he did acknowledge the tribal chief.
He did acknowledge the tribal chief. I thought that was pretty bold on
Well,
Roman.
but here's the thing. So
Time out. So Ashton has chimed in and
geez.
said
I saw that.
that Facebook broke today because she was in the picture with you.
That's probably fair.
Ashton, I appreciate that comment, and
And then Jerica said, "For real."
they two things you can count on. Those two ladies, they got my back.
And Brent Weehunt loves you.
You got his name right. It's not Brett no more.
Yeah, I almost
Congratulations.
almost said
He
Brent.
almost said it again.
You got your name back, sir.
Brent, thank you for sponsoring this show, especially when the guy didn't even know your name.
Yeah.
We really appreciate
I
that.
just can't read. Now, it's written clearly on the piece of paper. It's Brent.
It is. It is.
And I just
We're
can't
good
read.
that Ashton's got her sense of humor back.
Yeah.
And Jay, you know, because it was a tough loss, man. I don't want to go back there.
I'm sure.
But I appreciate you guys
I
for
drank my
making.
green water as quickly as I could.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys making me look good as a coach. Much love.
So I wanted this topic to be on here because I personally believe that this version of The Rock might be, in terms of what he's done so far, obviously not in the ring because he's 50 plus years old, but and that's all natural. There's no performance enhancing drugs that have been put in that body.
Protein.
Yeah. This is the best work I feel like he's done outside of the ring, like not wrestling, in his entire career. Yeah. So this version of The Rock might be one of my most favorites. And he is pushing this storyline to something funny got posted, pushing it to a whole nother level, right? Just read it.
Brent says apparently Sean getting his name correctly costs extra.
You'll be getting that invoice.
And again, you're getting money out of Brent Weehunt, tighter than bark on a tree. Been there, done that. Like, we have a clapping noise in the background. Hey, like a cheer button.
Well, if Brent would sponsor us more, we could buy one of those little machines that does that. But I mean, you know.
So, The Rock obviously is going to turn on Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. And it's going to be a year-long build to Rock versus Roman. So the WWE for so long has wanted Roman Reigns to be the ultimate babyface, right? Mm-hmm. And they've never been able to get that going. Sean, what have I told you for years?
The best way to turn someone babyface is to make them a heel.
And get them over as a super heel.
Yep.
The WWE's done that. So, but without The Rock coming in, they wouldn't get that ultimate, as they say in the business, white meat babyface, right? So we're going to see a year-long build, Rock versus Roman Reigns, but it's because of the work that The Rock is doing right now in the promos with the not really acknowledging, and yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, and you know, Cody saying that he was going to take everything away from him.
Yep.
And that's because we both believe at the end of night 2 of WrestleMania that Cody's going to be holding the belt. And Roman is going to be left in the center of the ring, and The Rock is going to have the entire bloodline with him, and even Paul Heyman.
He's going to have nothing left.
And Roman's going to be all by himself.
Is that how the script's going to go?
That's how we think it's going to happen. I mean, if we were writing it, that's how it would transpire.
And I'm pretty good at this stuff.
It's some of The Rock's best work. You're right.
It is.
But you were talking about my knowledge of Paul Heyman.
Lack thereof.
Yeah.
Like Dusty Rhodes. Let's go on back there. Talking about Cody. I mean, we can go deep. I just want you to know that there is homework here.
Hey, Dusty Rhodes is a sore subject on this podcast.
Get over yourself.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to poke the bear.
We did a top 50 list.
He didn't make it?
It's the only
He made
time in our relationship that we ever wanted to fight each other.
You just were wrong. So I argued he wanted Dusty Rhodes in the top 10. And I said, okay. I said he was influential. Who in the top 10 are we taking out?
But I know we got to show timelines.
There is no timelines.
Quick. Who was your top 10?
Well, so
I texted it to well.
I don't know. You know how many texts that was? So our top 4, Hogan, Flair, Austin, Cena. Top 4.
Cena?
Yeah.
Top 4 all time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Face of the company for 15 years.
How do you not put Shawn Michaels up there?
He's number 5.
Undertaker 6.
Yeah. And then 7 was Macho.
Yep.
8 was Bret Hart. 9 was Chris Jericho, and 10 was Triple H.
Cena at 4.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he saved the WWE right
When they came out of the Attitude Era, they went to the family friendly thing. They needed a face,
And he was that.
and he was the super over face that carried them for 15. Like
And he still is.
Hogan didn't do it for 15 years. Austin didn't do it for 15 years. Cena did it for 15 years.
And if Cena's music hits tomorrow,
the roof blows off the place.
yeah.
Just asking a question.
And he's still in the top 10 of merch sales.
Yep.
And he don't even wrestle for him.
So and our top 4 was unanimous from the beginning.
Yeah.
We were
didn't
Hogan,
know
Flair,
about the order, but that was the 4 that we had.
Hogan, Flair, Austin, and I can give you reasons. Okay,
I'm good.
No. I know you haven't brought it up. Don't you cut me off. I didn't attend Coach Collier. Kent Collier, sorry.
Collier.
So Hogan. Without Hulk Hogan, there is no professional wrestling. Ric Flair, the greatest professional wrestler of all time. Steve Austin, the greatest draw of all time, biggest draw of all time. And John Cena was the face of the company for 15 years. So, unanimous top 4. But he's butthurt because I said, who are you going to take out? Tell me who you're going to take out to put Dusty Rhodes in.
Most people were mad at us because we didn't have The Rock in. And at that particular time, the reason was longevity, right? He just didn't have the longevity in there. But, like the other day, we were kind of revisiting it. When we first did that list, we had Roman Reigns at like 23. Now we got Roman Reigns closer to top 10.
Well, he's getting ready to win his 1,000th match, and he's held the world title for almost 4 years.
Yeah.
Wrestling, the act of the sport is not fake.
Mm-hmm.
But if it was basketball, I can write the script that Bath County won the district championship this year.
They did. And you're well on your way to winning the region championship.
Fair
It's in the
enough.
script.
Fair enough. So I can't count 1,000 matches as legit, like as I would like as an MMA bout where you're actually winning it.
I mean, the NFL is scripted.
I agree with that. I agragree with that
We can't
100%.
get down that
The
road.
NFL is basically the WWE in pads.
Like Goldberg's win record, it was broke by was the Undertaker. I don't know who was, but that's the script. So I can't really give you this is the 14th time WWE champ. I can't give you that. I can't do it. But I agree with you. I'll go with Sandy with your top 4.
It's okay to be wrong, Coach.
What is it you always like? It's our podcast. We'll do what we want
It's
to
our
do. Right?
podcast. We'll do what we want to. And Sean's like, well, what if that makes... I was like, it's our podcast. I don't care if it makes somebody mad. Bye.
I'm not leaving her butt hurt. I'm cool with it.
Well, Sean leaves here butt hurt every week.
But he's leaving with a sweatshirt.
I've even got people on here that are yelling at me.
So, Sergeant Slaughter. A&E has started Sunday nights. They do the Rival show, and then they'll do a biography afterwards. So you get 3 hours of wrestling on Sunday night, which is fantastic. The Rivals have been really good. I didn't the first week it was
Triple H and The Rock.
Triple H and The Rock. Second week it was Macho and Jake Roberts.
So good.
Randy Orton had the first biography week
Snake.
1.
Yeah.
He's in a cage match of rep with them too.
So we got the Randy Orton biography was really good.
It was.
But Sergeant Slaughter, his biography was this past Sunday. I text Sean. He has in there Sergeant Slaughter biography. He wasn't in the military. So he created this persona from 2 movies he had seen. And when he announced that he never was in the military, Sean and I almost in unison texted each other and was like, for 39 years, I had thought that Sergeant Slaughter was actually in the military. He was G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why 84, right, was when the character was like,
Yeah.
America needs something to rally behind.
Yeah.
Against the Iron Sheik.
Yeah.
This is that guy.
And see, up until that point, that Sergeant Slaughter was a heel.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And when he was in his first stint in the WWF, he was a heel. And then they wanted to get him off TV for a little bit, so they sent him down to Crockett, NWA. They sent him down there for a little bit, and then Vince McMahon Sr. called him and wanted to bring him back, and he goes, I bring you back as a super duper heel, and he goes, well, if you think my heel is good, you should make me a hero. And so that's when he came back and started fighting against the Iron Sheik.
So and that was super cool because the moment happened, and the turn, as the term they use in pro wrestling, the turn happened. Sheik was leaving, Slaughter was entering, and they just stared at each other.
Yeah, they wouldn't get out of each other's way.
They just looked.
So that just kind of that little bit of thing
because it was around the time of the Iranian crisis, and if anything in pro wrestling, America versus the world always works.
Yeah, and
we hated the Iron Sheik for what he stood for. He was Iran. We hated him. We needed somebody to stand up to Iran. Well, Sergeant Slaughter was the perfect person. And I tell people all the time that Hulk Hogan ripped my heart out in 1996 Bash at the Beach. Because I said my prayers, I took my vitamins, and I believed everything Hulk Hogan said. And he told me as a fan to stick it.
Absolutely.
And he turned and made the NWO. Sergeant Slaughter becoming an Iraqi sympathizer.
And beating the Ultimate Warrior when he was over.
Ultimate Warrior's overhyped. He was blowed up before he even got there because he was all cracked out, coked out.
They really say he was hard to work. Like he wasn't really a good wrestler.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he wasn't a good wrestler.
Like
I tell people all the time, I'm like, listen, go back and tell me one good Ultimate Warrior match.
The best one was against Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan, they 5 moves of doom, but he can tell a story.
Yeah.
You can tell a story and have very little moves. Ultimate Warrior couldn't tell a story. So, but he also got cracked in the head with a scepter, if you remember, by Macho King. But seeing Sergeant Slaughter come out with his garb on and taking a Photoshop picture of him and Saddam Hussein, like that's gut wrenching.
Yeah.
He's got the pointy toe boots on now, and you're like, what is going on, Sarge? What are you doing? Like I felt betrayed.
Yeah,
right.
And look, we talked about that on one of the wrestling episodes. I don't remember which one it was.
Did we used to do wrestling episodes?
We did. But you remember how we talked about how much people hated him?
Yes.
I mean, it was legit hate. His family was getting
the WWE hired 4 armed guards to watch his house 24/7.
Yeah.
And all because they wanted the script to earn.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
He got stabbed 3 times, I think he said. In his career as a heel, he's been stabbed 3 times.
His wife said, this is going to ruin our kids' lives. And, I mean, they legit, like, of course, that back then you didn't talk about the business. Nobody knew that this stuff wasn't, like, real.
Wait. It's not real. It's still real to me.
Hey, for the longest time, I thought it was, Bret the Hitman Hart. That's,
yeah.
Hey, I despise Shawn Michaels.
My favorite thing about Bret the Hitman Hart, and just tell you what kind of athlete he is, he would make you believe that he was getting the absolute crap kicked out of him the entire match, and he would always come back at the end and win. And like I've heard, like he was in great shape. Like he was like, no, I wasn't worn out like him.
That's a sharpshooter, man.
Sharpshooter.
Hated Shawn Michaels.
So what do you think about the Montreal screw job?
I'm glad Vince McMahon got spit on him. I'm glad
and
he went back there and punched him in the mouth.
Yeah.
Because you don't do that to a man in your hometown. And Shawn Michaels knew. He lied that night.
He did.
But the thing was, when I watched that documentary, apparently Shawn Michaels didn't care about only one person, the Undertaker. Himself and what the Undertaker thought.
Yeah.
And but I thought that, they could have done Bret a little bit better. I think Vince McMahon's a businessman and whatever's going to look him. So,
he was afraid that Bret Hart was going to pull the Alundra Blaze and show up in WCW with the title and drop it in the trash can, which is the only reason. And it was actually Triple H's idea. He said, if he won't do business, then we'll do business for him. But, I mean, it would be great if there was a podcast that talked about that.
Brent just commented. He said, there is way too much wrestling knowledge in this room.
I mean,
I said, you have no idea.
So,
tell us you're jealous without saying it, Brent.
Right. I mean, you can join us. I mean, come in anytime.
It's our podcast. We don't care what people think.
Exactly. It's our podcast. What he said, what Coach said.
Come on, Brett. Come on down.
That was the...
Bring your checkbook.
Right.
You listen here, Brent. This coming Saturday night, it's me and you, buddy.
Sorry. Are you all right?
You good?
I didn't know where that was coming from.
Do my little wrestling promo there.
Maybe switch over to the hard
So check this out. Yeah, he was looking at the wrong camera. He was like, I'm talking right here.
Man, I gave you the Ric Flair Woo, man. What's going on?
What was
So I got to tell the
Sid
story.
Vicious? You're not as
He said, I'm half. You're half the man that I am, and I'm half as smart as you are, or I have half the brain that you do.
Low key, real quick. I used to be scared of Sid Vicious. When he'd come on, I got scared.
Yeah. So let me tell you a funny story, and then we'll wrap up. This is wrestling related. We're on the way 2 years ago to SummerSlam. Was in Nashville. We stop at a Shoney's.
This is hilarious.
We stop at a Shoney's and we're eating. It's all four of us. All right. And we have Wes's boy. We have Baby Crouch.
Yeah.
With us. We're eating at the Shoney's. What's the waitress's name?
Flo.
It wasn't Flo.
I don't remember her name.
I don't either. Mo.
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 It was Mo.
It was
yeah,
Mo.
that's right. Mo.
Mo's talking to us and she striking up
She was an older lady.
striking up conversation, and we're just laughing. And she comes back to the table and what are you all doing? And we're going to the wrestling show. Oh yeah. Mason looks at me and says, he's the world champion. And I was like, I am. Yes, ma'am. I am the world champion. We're on our way to Nashville. We have a show. She said, where do y'all wrestle out of? I said, Southern Indiana. And she was like, oh, yeah? I said,
wait. She said, where are you from? You said Louisiana. She said, tell me another lie. I said, Indiana.
Yeah, I said, we're from Louisiana. She said, tell me another lie. I said, Indiana. And she's like, oh, I thought you said Louisiana. I was like, no, do I sound Cajun? But so we're sitting there, and I said, now this isn't real. It's not real, right? And she was like, oh, yeah, I know. I used to work at some restaurant down in Florida, and the Bushwhackers used to come in all the time. And I was like, yeah, I bet they did. But anyway, she was like, well, what are your all's names? Off the top of my head, I became Tony the Muscle Martin. And Adam, I said, and I'm wrestling him tonight for the world title. We've been going back and forth. And she said, he said, I'm Phantom. Adam and I signed autographs on a napkin in Shoney's in Elizabethtown.
This is a true story.
Yes.
That I'm sure hung on somebody's refrigerator.
This woman's grandkids.
She come back and said, if my grandkids love wrestling, if I don't get your all's autographs, she goes, they're going to hate me.
And she went home and told her grandkids that she met Tony the Muscle Martin and Phantom.
She'll be on this podcast in the future.
Well,
you have to find
Southern Indiana Regional Wrestling.
So we started on
TikTok.
TikTok. We started on TikTok doing Southern Indiana Regional Wrestling, which, by the way, Wes and I have been talking. It needs to come back.
Yes,
it needs to have
it
its own TikTok channel. It needs to come back. So we have personas. Like, I've created Tony the Muscle Martin. Adam will be in his bathroom flickering the lights, cutting promos as Phantom. It's fantastic.
All the videos are on our TikTok page.
Darren came in as a hired gun to take me out. I'm cutting a promo in the middle of a podcast, and I get blindsided. Body slammed up against the wall. I end up with rug burns all over me where I fail. It's not fake. Wrestling is not fake.
Sean and I are the natural disasters. Tsunami and wildfire.
Because listen,
see, nobody knows
what tsunami says. The only word we can understand tsunami say is splash.
So the whole thing is Sean just saying splash, and I'm the only one that can understand it. So it's like Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm Groot is everything. So he says splash, and I just say blah 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 blah.
Wes is the evil businessman. He's the $1,000 man.
$1,000 man.
And his laugh is. We're gonna get Southern Indiana Regional Wrestling back up.
It's the only time in my life I've ever worn women's leggings.
They were
American flag, women's leggings.
And he manhandled me.
Wildfire replaces Sergeant Slaughter as the American dream, the American hero.
That was at the Backroom Studios.
That was the Backroom Studios.
Water Church.
Man.
In women's leggings, I picked Neil up and slammed him against the wall. Threw his belt.
He dropped the belt on me. I'm like,
So how long have you all been friends, the whole group?
I don't know. Sean and I met at church. Like we were acquaintances.
I've known him longer. We all met at church. Known him probably 10 years.
Sean and I were at church one Sunday. It was WrestleMania weekend, and we
coming up on like the 8th or 9th year anniversary.
And we were talking, and was it me? You overheard me talking about wrestling, or
Caitlin asked if we were going to get the WWE Network and watch WrestleMania that night.
Ears perked up, and I was like,
WrestleMania.
You're a wrestling fan?
He goes, "You're a wrestling fan?" I was like, "Yeah, I like wrestling." And he's like, "Man, I'm a huge wrestling."
He didn't know I was a wrestling god.
It wasn't 2 hours later. He sends me a text message and says, "You know something I've always wanted to do?" It's like, "What?" And he goes, "Have a wrestling podcast." It took us 4 years to finally put a mic in front of us.
That's the golden mic.
Golden mic. But man, it's been a blast. It was the right time for us to do it, right?
It was, yeah.
But I mean, we'd talk about it and plan it and all this and that. And then, one day we were just like, he's like, "Man, I had this thought last night. What if
we just did it?
What if in 1992 Hulk Hogan became heel after the, Royal Rumble?"
Because what they don't tell you, they cut the sound out. When Hogan, whenever he got pulled out by said Justice, the fans cheered. They were already turning on Hogan in 92. So if the WWE would have turned Hogan like they should have, pro wrestling's changed.
Right.
Yeah.
But neither here nor there. So now you've been introduced to the world champion, Tony the Muscle Martin. And you know about Southern Indiana Regional Wrestling that's coming to a TikTok page near you. We're going to get it started back up. I don't care what these guys think. But yeah,
live show this summer at Bath County Arena.
Mark Collier Arena
on Ashton Barrett Court.
On Ashton Barrett Court.
We can make that happen.
I'm going to petition the mayor to make that happen.
Mayor Hunt, stoplight, wrestling.
We need hashtag Ashton Barrett Court going.
I'm going to make it viral.
You put it out there on your Twitter and on Facebook, we'll share the heck out of it.
So, rename the court. We will bring Southern Indiana
right there. I don't know where we're going to ring at yet, but we'll find one. So one of the segments we had early on was called "Missing the Mark." So it's as close as "Come on, man" that they used to do on ESPN.
No, absolutely.
So,
but you got to say it the right way.
What did I say?
No, look at the way it's written.
Well, you struggle reading stuff that's written, so can I not? Finally, Missing the Mark has come back to the podcast. Are you happy?
I'm very happy.
Okay. So, you talked about me being a LeBron fan. Every accomplishment that LeBron James, every milestone that he's reached, he has also lost the game that he was playing that he reached said milestone.
Did not know that.
He's trash, bro. 40,000 points. You played for 100 years. Of course you scored 40,000 points. You ought to have.
And don't give me this stuff of, well, he's taken so many different teams to the finals. Jordan only had to do one team.
Yeah. Dirk Nowitzki won the NBA championship with a bunch of scrubs.
Preach.
And he beat your super team in the finals.
Did. Facts.
So don't talk about you. J.J. Barea might have been his second best player. Jason Terry.
I think Jason Kidd was on that team, wasn't he?
Worn out Jason Kidd.
Yeah. Older. Yeah.
Eric Dampier was the center. Think about what I just said.
Yeah.
And they beat the Heat, didn't they?
They beat the Heat.
With Dwayne Wade, Bosh.
Yeah. So every milestone that LeBron James has accomplished, his team has subsequently lost that game.
Is LeBron about him, the team, or is LeBron about LeBron?
Oh, LeBron's all about LeBron.
LeBron's about the name on the back of the jersey.
LeBron trying to all this stuff about his son Bronny being in the NBA stuff. He's put undue pressure on that kid because he's not that good.
Bronny's not getting drafted if he's not LeBron James' son. Some team wants LeBron James to come there to sell jerseys.
Well,
just me?
They're making a mistake to.
I don't
draft
100%. You're correct.
They're trying to draft Bronny to leverage to get LeBron, sell some merch, sell some tickets, maybe win a championship.
But I don't know if he can do it. LeBron's not the guy no more.
But he thinks that he is. When he goes on a team, he wants to be the alpha dog. And bro, like you're not the alpha dog.
You've got to step aside and be Robin for once in your life instead of Batman.
Yep.
And AD is not AD. I'm an Anthony Davis guy. He's not the one to carry a team.
Nope. No, I mean the Lakers don't have anybody to carry. How in the world they won the in-season tournament? Who knows? It was fixed.
And I'm trying to get good at this podcast thing, so I apologize if you keep talking. I interrupt.
No,
I
do
apologize.
To our life. That's what we do. We just talk over each other.
I don't know how many times he's gotten mad at Wes over the years.
I'll be talking. I wasn't talking. Yeah, like sorry that the beginning of your story interrupted the middle of mine.
Maybe he got tired and forgot.
I think his battery went out of his hearing aid.
He gets old.
Any updates from the region?
You just got to
yes, actually going into the third or into the fourth, Montgomery was down. Campbell 28, Moco 23. End of the third. That was at 8:55. So the game should probably be
15-9 at halftime.
Did you? So Barry Odom, y'all know who I'm talking about when I say Barry Odom, coach of UNLV. Mm-hmm. He rode a bull for charity to raise money.
Yes, he did.
He had stayed on that joker for about a second. That's a second longer. I'm gonna be on a dang bull. Forget that.
Got off limping too. Did you see that?
Yeah, he did. But he's old. He's old. But he rode a bull.
He's probably limping before he got on.
If Scott Pollard wasn't here, he'd be my dog of the week.
Yeah.
But speaking of dogs of the week, dog.
Tutu Sweet Treats dog of the week.
Why, Darren?
Because all good athletes got a little dog.
So this week's dog of the week is Scott Pollard, Coach. Scott Pollard, former Kansas Jayhawk, NBA vet, defeated cancer this week. He got to ring the bell, man. So
saw that.
I mean, that's great. I mean, like, because oftentimes people look at the word cancer and it's
terrifying.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
And he looked it in the face and won, survived, got to ring the bell. So that's why he is our Tutu Sweet Treat dog of the week. Because nothing else, that dude got a little dog in him.
Congratulations to him.
Yeah.
That is an awesome feat. I'm not sure for you guys. My family's been impacted by cancer.
I think everybody's family probably has.
But to ring that bell, probably not a sweeter sound.
I would agree.
Great job, Scott.
7 months cancer free myself. So.
Amen.
Woo! Awesome.
Woo!
Ric Flair woos.
Woo! Win.
So
Splash.
There was a clap with it too.
Splash.
Do you remember the clap?
Yeah,
the clap.
Went, splash. He's gonna go find the TikTok.
I'm telling you, it's well worth it.
You all don't understand. Like, I love this, man. Like, I love this. Like, we've talked 3 times face to face.
Yeah.
And man, I'm like, man,
you're part of
my face.
I mean, you're part of the family now. We just need to take your picture and get a portrait. Wait, we'll just start adding portraits on the wall.
Like, you just don't understand. Like, this is, I love this.
And this is what our Saturday shows are. I mean, you just never know where.
I just call them a variety show. You don't know what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
No, but this is awesome, and I can't thank you guys enough. One, because I know we're closing. Thank you for the coverage of our Lady Cats. It's like I said, Bath County. It's hard to get that. Thank you. It meant a lot to our girls that you all did that. Thank you for the support of Ashton and Kaylee, especially Ashton with her everything and her endeavors. Thank you for the support of me. Thank you for just taking me in and letting me enjoy this because I've always wanted to do it. And so, bucket list check. Love it.
Well, it won't be the last time you're on.
Please don't let it be. But you guys are rocking.
Hey, you
man.
bring a lot to the table. So
You guys are rocking this, man. This is awesome.
Well,
and I pray you guys, what's your next go? 10,000 downloads?
Yeah, we're getting close.
I don't know.
We're getting close.
Don't
About
ask me.
1,000 away.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, that remarkable. I'm looking at your vision board. Remarkable where you guys have come. How many years?
It will be. We started January 20 or July 24th, 2021.
So we're closing on year 3.
Good. Not as fast as when you got married, but we're getting there.
Yeah,
we are getting there.
That's an awesome story, bro. 25 years.
Yeah.
Like that's
with Cupid.
With Cupid.
Cupid Zinc.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Like, and then thank you guys for supporting us the other night. I know it's got to be hard supporting Menifee wearing green. I did notice.
Oh, I didn't have my green on. He did.
Was it you with the green on up there?
Well, we only have we need red corner to corner shirts.
But
so real quick, we've decided because Menifee and Bath are the two schools that we're
doing both home and home.
We're going to do both, and we're going to come divided. So half of us will be in red, half of us will be in green.
And we're going to call it the podcast divided.
Yeah, the podcast divided.
That's perfect, man. Like, you guys don't understand. Like, that's just awesome what you guys are doing.
We couldn't
gonna
get
pick
red
up.
shirts made fast enough. I tried to get them made, and we couldn't get them.
What do you want to say?
Well, I mean, I was trying to get these, and I was trying to get these on red. So
On red?
we'll have them by next season.
All right, man. 'Cause I was just gonna get them for you.
Yeah, no, we'll have them by next season.
And then I was gonna throw my face on the side,
Put a little Mark Collier down here.
peeping up over Crouch's head.
And I have to make a correction.
Okay.
We were not the natural disasters. We were nature's nightmare.
Oh, that's right.
Nature's nightmare.
Because everything was a play off of real.
And you guys really did like the whole.
Yeah, he made that logo.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it was good.
Yeah, that was awesome. Well, guys, there you have it for another episode of the another episode
for the community.
another episode of the From Corner to Corner podcast. Coach, it's been a blast having you here tonight. We look forward to having you back again, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Stay safe, friends.